I moved to North Beach in, the late 80s, early 90s, and lived on above the old Schlop Shop. So I don't know how many people, there's a lot of old school, I mean, we know each other, we go way back. And I wrote this poem when I first moved to North Beach. I don't want to say a yuppie, but I was definitely working and making a lot of money as a young professional. And I was in advertising. So this is a poem.
What firm?
It was Lewis and Company is who I worked with. And this is called Waking Up in a Past Life. And this was kind of that pivotal North Beach moment. And it's the first page of my God Meat collection. And that is N-E-A-T. N-E-A-T, just making sure we all get that.
It's good to eat meat.
Yeah, right. Waking up in a past life. I opened my eyes to bums howling, crackling, dragging their cardboard beds into doorways, fancy boutique ones that don't open till noon. The sky reaching into strands of lip and persimmon, spread wide with faraway blackbirds. I am already tired, my voice close to the senseless waste of minds, especially mine. A headline of corned beef. Does it pop? Do I really want mothers to trust Nestle again? Why not go all the way? Sleep in alleys, scrape off palaces with knives, eat pizza crust out of North Beach dumpsters, laugh and drink and piss on concrete. I could paint apocalyptic pictures, sing the sidewalk blues, recite into space. I want someone like me, lost, searching, hungry for purpose, to buy me cognac at Specs. Touch my shoulders, listen to my seventh-dimensional underpinnings. I am a shaman in bum's clothing, alive on the razor between jail and liver failure, staring at the frat boy as he kicks me into the hospital, telling the cop it'll be okay, in the next life he will be forgiven. But now I am getting dressed in corporate drag. Sheer pantyhose, low heels, trim skirt, light cleavage. I have a corner office cubicle, a meeting at 2 with a potential client, a first date with a weightlifter from the gym, the type who'll take me to a place with big portions so he can rid me about my tiny appetite. Our mouths constantly moving in nowhere conversation. Maybe I'll get laid. Come home with a wax box of leftovers to leave as an offering to the street. I was kind of feeling that North Beach thing, right? Because here we are, and Bob, your poems about jazz made me think about this. And Mark was going to be playing bass with me, so I was really thinking it was going to be great. But I guess because of the time, he didn't want to do all that. And
Oh, he's not here?
he's here, but he told me just to go on my own. I saw him over there, and he wandered off.
I think
He's
we're
like,
still going to do the music.
We've got a little extra.
Yeah, we got some time. Well, you guys work it out.
I'm not fussed.
Right,
Okay,
please.
I'm not fussed. I'll just do it because I'm feeling it. This is called What Jazz Wants. Jazz wants a woman, a man, a note, an orchestra, you, to love her so completely no other sound has meaning. She wants us to swallow her like bread and wine, like Coltrane. She wants no devotion, no anthem, no dissertation, just sweet stewing till dawn and the sunrise silence broken open into lilac and raven. I meet jazz while standing on a street corner in Tokyo. I am in front of the Blue Note. Stanley Clarke is about to play inside. It is a few years ago. She is old, much older than I, much older than time. Her eyes winged and wild, so empty, so full. I want to know her, and all I, a mere poet, can do is ask. Ask if I can avail her somehow. Lend some piece of my soul to her cause. Touch someone. she whispers. Touch someone right now. But I have words. I hesitate. Do it, she prescribes. Involuntarily, I reach for the first person who passes, catch his hand, a salaryman's hand, smooth and young and clean, like a fresh ream of paper. I press it into mine. Jazz told me to, I say in English. He smiles, crookedly, shyly, presses back before letting go, his blue suit disappearing into the rush of sidewalk bones. Still, he is on my hand, inside my eyes. Together, we are jazz. I do it again. It is easier the second time, the third, the fourth, jazz touching jazz, jazz being jazz, jazz risking jazz. Desire for contact, intimacy, expanse. When I turn around to tell her I understand, she soars away. Then I hear her in the electrons. She wants us to touch each other, really, right now. She's asking us to reach out to the person next to you, left or right. Let your fingers extend toward each other. Touch, feel, look. Say jazz. Mean it. She wants, she's waiting. She wants, she's waiting. She wants, she's waiting. She wants. When we finally do it, she says, shh. Listen with the wholeness of my being, the blaring of my silence as I carry you into cacophony. I am you, you are me. Together, we are the people of ears, gathered to hold earth and sky inside the infinite limits of skin music, to scale mountainous rhythm, peak past human, dine on this present, tidy, reckless, clear dream. Jazz will not be deferred. Here, I'm going to do one more Tokyo poem because Tokyo is so kind of beat in that way, right? It really has that feeling because that was a playground at a time that, the kind of the Zen and all the Buddhism and how everything kind of made sense in a weird way in Japan and not make any sense at all, which is what this poem's about. I got to live there for a few years, and so I got to experience all sorts of things that I always say Tokyo was a place where something every day would make my jaw drop, and that is a good thing, right? If something blows your mind that hard, you should stay there. It makes sense. It's called Odakyu, which is the train line, Odakyu-sen at rush hour, and that's the one that goes from Tokyo through Shibuya and then out on the west side, so it's kind of a really active line. I might put my glasses on. There's a lot of words in this one, so I don't want to be all. Okay, that's going to be so much better, but I'm going to not be able to look at you as well, so I'll try to do the combination. Odakyu-sen at rush hour. We are toilers pulled to the track of evening. Fingers crossed behind moving glass. Faithful, no one will stand out. Do something to embarrass culture. I am this smudge as I watch a salaryman, much shorter and older than I, press himself into a young office lady, rub his groin along the contours of her pink suit, smell the sable of black naked at her neck. She tries to move away, but has nowhere to go. It is 6 p.m. and we are minnows in a sea of flesh. He is the shark, her ass in hand, reaching under for the good meat. I watch her hand squeeze the dangling ring as her eyes lock on the floor in docile acquiescence. Where is your fight, girl? I want to shout, "Do you like it, anonymous old perv fingering your panties?" I want to save her, even if she can't save herself. But I think of the time in Omotosando when I heard a woman whispering, "No, no, no," at the end of a dark alley, and ran to discover a black Marine doing her against the wall, very much with her consent. But I cannot take these limp people lined up in rows of blue, looking away or into newspapers with half-clad schoolgirls printed alongside financial reports. I am a gaijin superhero. I leap up, press myself between the two, my body forcing his hand back to his side. I grip the ring closest to his head and lean into him. I tower and glare, his anger meeting my good deed. It's a stare down to the next stop, his face turning redder, more pinched, until the doors finally open, allowing him to escape into the masses, a new piece of office lady underwear already on his mind. The victim does not thank me. The other passengers continue to read or look away. I quietly remove my invisible cape and return to my former seat, my culture sticking out like a nail that won't get hammered down.
Yeah. So I don't know how many do I have a little bit more?
There's some more.
All right. Let's see here. Here, I'll do something from memory just for fun. I got some new stuff too that I was thinking about throwing in. Actually, maybe I'll do this one. This is kind of, well, no. They're all going to end up being about sex. That's the thing, you know. It's like
Is that a problem?
No, it's not a problem at all. I don't have a problem with that, but I just like to give you guys a little bit of a balance, right?
Just get us off, that's all.
Just get you off. All right. I'm gonna do this one because this is kind of a new poem that is a true story. And you heard that I live in Mendocino County, and I'm also a painter and a poet. So I like to paint things on things, and I have this beautiful, well, not beautiful, but to me quite weird, fun bathroom, and I painted a fake rug on the floor, and it's my whole life is kind of one outbuilding to another, so you spend a lot of times outside, and so this is a morning experience, you know, doing what we all do first thing in the morning. It's called She Paints It. Well, hopefully, if you're lucky. She paints it red, and it starts with a quote: "Work is more fun than fun," by Noel Coward. I sit on my morning perch, sun arrowing my knees with patterns of tall spring. Another's poem in my hand, her words emptying in the way that makes me feel as if I belong to the sky as much as the earth. And watch a honeybee trying to pollinate a painted flower. Actually, dozens of them, one after another, somehow believing my loose brushstrokes, flat and beckoning on the make-believe rug beneath my feet, to be as potent as the real thing. Tufts of gold fringe against the purple floor, imitating the stripes of his body. His seasonal job barely begun as he worked so diligently to nudge every one of them, dislodge their voluptuous offerings, refusing to yield until he grazes the last bloom. Perhaps surprised to find this early bounty, like me, determined to do whatever it takes to eke out the sweetness of this life. I'll let you guys go. Don't worry. I'm not going to hold you hostage. Yeah, listen, I'm going to do the problem. I'll just do it while you're walking out, the exit phone. I want to know about Adam and how we just
I saw Jimi Hendrix literally lose it
when people left.
when people left.
Really?
He didn't come on at 11 o'clock, it's supposed to be on at 8. He finally gets on at 11 o'clock, and at midnight all these people get up to leave, and he stops his concert. He's like, "Where are you going?"
Oh.
was sad.
It's a bummer, especially Jimi Hendrix.
Well,
he
didn't
was.
show up for 3 hours.
Oh, so he was at fault. It wasn't because they were late.
No,
He was-
they had children to go home to. They had babies.
Yeah, sorry, man. People are breeding. So I'm gonna do one. I'll do one more.
Yeah, do
one
one
more, maybe. Yeah. And this is. I also work with California Poets in the Schools, which is a program.
Everybody here works there. Almost.
Poets in the schools. We need them, right? Like that's their. I always say we're the fingers in the dam, and like helping them turn on those light switches. And as a teacher. I get to experience all sorts of things. And this is a poem that I wrote that makes a lot of my fellow teachers uncomfortable. So who's a teacher in here, anybody? All right. There'll be maybe a couple people that, it won't make you uncomfortable.
I
But
teach felons.
you teach felons? I'm teaching at juvie tomorrow, so that's kind of the same deal, right?
Yep.
This is not a felon, but I will say his dad was the town coyote.
Okay.
He was bringing everyone in, so that gives you a little bit of this character. It's called Accidental Cougar. A poet-teacher's parable. I'll leave my glasses on. How do you define freak, I want to know, after he tells me I am one? Gangsta, coy, his hands under the cheap Azatlan poncho, wrestling around with something. A zipper, maybe? Making me wonder if he's planning to pull on it, as he states to no one in particular, sexy ladies like you have lots of boyfriends. He removes one hand from its hiding place and reaches for me, bumping the dashboard. Suavely bumbling boy man, easy to pull away from, despite the parts of me opening to the perils of biology, the low tones of desire, the alliances we form for no reason other than pleasure. He pops the spell with his gum-punctuated words. You know, I got you. You know what I mean. I tell him he isn't even close, but it does not matter. In my mind, I change the subject to music, so he can't follow the way it expands me, matches the feeling inside, traces my contours with x-rays of private rhythm. I step through wisps of mescaline memories, pick up my palette, find the inner doorway to the iguana of go-go brass funk. He's talking, he's still talking. He's talking about how sexy I am in a voice that hasn't been baritone for very long. I am vaguely aware of being too nice, the imaginary sousaphone belting out a steady beat as he tries to hustle me with his innate understanding of my true nature, telling me that he has had a crush on me since 8th grade when I was his poetry teacher, because he knows I'm hot. I'm hot for you, teacher, he actually says. And I say, because I am still in the music, didn't someone sing about that once? And he looks momentarily confused before declaring, I'm legal now, 18. Hot. Small town values, cultural mores, and a strong whiff of cheap cologne, underscored by a mouth that is sassier than its stature, keeps me steady despite the irrepressible warmth in my panties. Yes, a woman has a little head, but I am not a man. So rather than doing the super freak furry backseat unzip the zip slide down turnaround thing and mash myself into 18 ways to have a one-night stand with a teenager, I shrug and remind him, hey man, I'm just giving you a ride home so the cops don't harass you for curfew, remember? He doesn't, and instead pushes again, attempts to tempt me with his version of an I am amazing in bed face, which makes me laugh, admire his unseasoned hubris. What would I be, his second, third maybe? Not counting Spin the Bottle or the drunken orgies at the river with the other kids who hope to be porn stars someday. Mercifully, his tenacity ebbs, both hands again visible as he opens the door, climbs out of the painted Mercedes he calls my whip, walks around to the driver's side window, leans toward my ear, and in a husky whisper, most likely modeled after his favorite hip-hop idol, Buenas noches. I know you're going to think about me when you come, freak. I watch him, the young poulet, strut into his parents' house. And I have to admit, to this poem at least, he is half right.